Good morning everybody, welcome to another video. My name's Davey. Today's video is actually going to be about my SLK. I thought it was high time that I actually did a video about the R171. So if you've not bought one yet, or you're thinking about buying a SLK R171, then I'll give you a little walk round. This model, when it was launched with three different engine sizes. So you had a 1.8 compressor, which was the SLK350. You had this, which was the SLK350, and it has a naturally aspirated 3.5 litre V6 engine. And then you had the SLK350 AMG, which had a 5.4 litre V8. A little bit after the launch, they then released the SLK280, which had a 3 litre V6. When that facelift came along, they left the SLK200 as is. They changed the 280 to become the SLK300 and gave that a bit of a power lift. And then also with the SLK350, they gave that a power lift as well. So there is a way of telling the difference again with the 350. The SLK55, they left the same. So this is the SLK R171. It's the second generation SLK and was made between 2004 and 2010. And this example of mine is actually a first generation pre-facelift one. So this is a 2006. So what I'm going to do today is just we're going to have a little walk around the outside, and then I'm going to try and show you everything that you need to know about what you can find in these cars. So starting overall, the actual design itself was a big step up from the first generation. So this was a longer car, it was a wider car, and it was a slightly longer wheelbase as well, which means that it's actually there's quite a bit more space inside of this. If you have a look at the front, the actual design is quite well known because it was an F1 inspired nose. If you have a look at this sort of like bonnet scoop that comes down the middle to the star, that is very reminiscent of not only some of the F1 cars at the time, but if you have a look at the McLaren Mercedes SLR. So overall, I think it's a very good looking car that I think has aged very, very well. So just as we go around, just so you know that the wheels are not standard, they're the only aftermarket thing on here. So on the outside, a couple of things to understand. On this generation SLK, the first pre-facelift, you have this style bumper. If it's a post facelift, so from 2007 onwards, instead of this bit here, it actually arrows down and there's an air dam. So the actual design of the front bumper is different. And then when you come around to the back, again on the post facelift, the rear bumper is a different shape. So where you've got these oval tailpipes, you actually had trapezoid tailpipes. So that's two big giveaways to let you know whether this is a pre or a post facelift. But apart from that, so they came as standard on the 350 with a four piston caliper at the front with the vented discs and 2 piston up the back. On the SLK 200, which is a 1.8 compressor, it came with, I think it was just 2 piston at the front. So this is the M272 naturally aspirated 3.5 litre V6 engine. What to say about this engine? Well, the main thing is, if this is a post facelift version, so if this is the facelift, this becomes red. And that's one of the easiest ways to signify that it's got the increase in power. So I'm going to cover it in another thing, just something to check for is to have a look for rust on the top of the struts, because they are susceptible to some rust going in there. next to the boot. So again, little release handle just behind, just something to keep an eye on if you're looking at buying one. These are susceptible to a little bit of rust. Actually I don't know whether the camera's picking it up, just a little bit of rust under there. You can see you've got the two lights with a key as the emergency backup. Yes, just speaking of the key. So this does slide out. So it does slide out and you have a backup key if the battery dies on you. Side here, boot, you got the cover. That must be down and must be clicked on both sides for the Vario roof to work, and I'll show you the Vario roof in a bit. But the other thing about the boot in here is, personally I think it's quite a decent size. To give you an idea, golf umbrella at the back, so it gives you an idea of the width. I can normally fit 2 carry-on suitcases and a couple of soft bags in here. But what gets fitted behind here is the car navigation. So if you have had the command navigation system fitted, this is where the CD goes in. Don't overfill the boot if you go with this. If this springs up, so if it for some reason you haven't latched it down properly, it springs up when the roof is down, you've just got to be able to get your hand in to re-lock it in place. So just be careful. So I talk round actually in the car. So seat belts, leather loops. I do find that these you can sometimes hear them squeaking, but the leather loops, what you can do. This has the Napa leather upgrade, and then you're in the controls. So let me straighten the steering wheel up. Okay, and I think we'll start with the roof. So this button here is for your Vario roof. Pull and hold. You start hearing things. The quarter windows drop down, the roof drops down, and then 22 seconds. And it's tucked away. So as you can see behind me, this net is your wind deflector. The fabric net is what came as standard from Mercedes. It might not look the neatest, but it does work very, very well. Also at the back here, you've got a couple of speakers and you've got storage. Tucked behind there, you have a net. There is some space down there if you needed to pull. There's quite a bit of space here. You can be able to pull the seat forward if you need to, somebody's short. And then there is a cargo net at the bottom. Also, just to highlight, on the back of the chairs there is actually a hook holder, so you can pull it forward. You've got somewhere to hang your nice shirt. At least I don't know whether you'd really fit a blazer behind there. You've got another net on the inside there. This car also, you can't see, but this has actually got puddle lights as well. That was part of an additional lighting package that you can pay for. So on the passenger side, you got tweaker speakers here, door speakers. They're reasonable with this. This has got the command upgrade system, so it's not got the top of the range system that was on offer, but it's there. And then also on the passenger side, if you open the glove box, this is illuminated. You've got a bit more storage, but this again has the 6 CD multi-changer that's stored in here. Very easy, press and hold. And if you press and hold, it deletes, empties all 6. So you got a Mr. Whippy aerial with this age. I think the facelift again then came with a stubby one. and also the wing mirrors are a little bit different. These are the standard ones. Again, the facelift ones were different. So what I'm going to do, we've had a look on the outside. Couple of things to note. So it's just a push in for that. Jack points. I'm a silly thing, but they are here. Just make sure that whoever changes any wheels uses the jack points, because I have had it where they missed the jack points and cracked all my side skirting. So just make sure that those jack points are used. When you pull it in, you'll hear a click. That is the steering column unlocking. And then obviously you've got your ignition turned. So you just got your two windows, electric. The electric windows were standard on this car. You've got your pockets in the arms, and one thing I do like on this car is that there are quite a bit of storage units within the actual cabin. I believe these came as standard. On the 55 you got them embossed as an AMG. Seats, I have electric ones in here with the memory. This was an upgrade. So you've got is it six way? So if you have a look, you've got up and right, left, up, down. So this one slides it forwards, backwards, and then tilts the seat. Press down at the front, it tilts it at the front. But if you then lift it at the back, this, if you pull it up, it tips it forwards. And then you've got your backrest. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And then with the memory, 3-way memory seats. So for this car, it's exactly the same on the passenger side as well. So looking on here, lights, parking, the auto is automatic. It's got a sensor to, if it goes too cold, too dark. They do work very well. And then you've got side beams, full beams, and then it's pulling forwards and backwards, and you get your fog lights on. And then you've got this push in, push out to adjust the beam direction. Whilst we're down here as well, you've got the release. I'll open that for the bonnet so you can have a look. And this is an automatic. This is the 7-speed automatic. They came as standard with a 6-speed manual, and I believe the 200 only came with a 5-speed manual or optional 5-speed automatic. This came with a 6-speed manual, and then the AMG only came with the automatic, the 7G automatic as standard. So yeah, so hence the two. I believe these are the standard fit pedals. And then storage in this, you've got quite a big deep storage box there, but when they were first launched, they came with this very nifty system. So, but if this lever here, you can press from the other side, which allows you to access the same top, and then hold both and pull up. That got problematic to a point where when they remade it for the facelift, they ditched that altogether. So you've got reading lights, your main lights controls up here for the doors, and reading lights, and these are the main lights. Again, you've got a lit light built into the sun visor. I'll be honest, I find this the easiest way to mount a phone in here. I know some people do have something stuck off the window, but I'm 6'3". I'm sat quite high, even though there is a lot of space about this cabin. So I'll come on to that in a minute. And some people will fit it over here. I just prefer that. So in here, this within here, you have an option of a cup holders. So to give you an idea of the size of it, my phone doesn't quite fit width-wise. That's how deep it is, but I've got a reasonably big phone. I'll be honest, I'm not keen on the cup holders, just because when they come out, if anything spills, it does you've got the risk of it going straight down, so I'm quite happy I haven't got that. So, command system. So the command system, so you've got these buttons down the left and the right, and then main buttons on this side. So the audio, then you've got option of, on this one you've got radio CD or the CD multi-changer. Navigation, telephone, you can actually play DVDs through this, just to look at the map overall, and service books. And then these are skip for your audio, and then obviously you've got inputting telephone numbers and the controls going around. So with the CD changer, you press that, magazine, and up and down to change what you want. CD, this comes with a standard CD player, single one in the top. That's the audio, and then radio, as you would expect. Navigation. So this the navigation system in this is antiquated now. You end up you have to put in postcodes or try and put in destinations. It is, for now, it is a really fiddly way of doing something. So let's try putting in Pontefract. So P-O-N, and you can see it just starts narrowing down your options. Pontefract. Okay. And then it wants a specific place. It's fiddly. I'm not so keen on this at all. What I do like though is just having the map, because the map with these buttons you can zoom in or out, but if you have it I like having it just at the right point so that it'll actually show you some of the B and C roads, some of the minor roads, and it's reasonably accurate, so you've got an idea of what you'd be coming onto as you're driving along. Underneath you've got silence, eject for this, your phone. Underneath there, neck scarf. So this has the optional neck scarf fitted. It's built into the headrest as an extra electrical heating system. Obviously cost extra. You can adjust it by lifting up the headrest. They are not set straight. I have to have mine set up because otherwise it would be pointless, because it would just blow onto my shoulders. You've got 3 levels. It starts automatically on the highest level. You can then drop it down to 2 or 1. And also it is speed relative. So the quicker you go, the faster it will all heat through. You've got seat warming, heated seats. Again, this is extra for the seat and the backrest. You then got ESP off, central locking, unlock your hazards. This here is parking sensors that I do not have fitted but are available. Personally, if you can find a car with them, then I think it's probably worth it, mainly for the front, because I don't know whether you can see, but it's a little bit vague. It's the nose drops away quite a bit and you can't always tell where it is. The back is so short that I don't have any problems with that, but I think it is worth it if you can find one to get it with the parking sensors. You got your HVAC controls in the middle here, so right and left, recirculate, AC, and then you've got front and rear demisters. This works perfectly well. They did an option called Climatronic, which is a digital climate control, that some people, specified. And then you've got your ashtray down there with a little bit of storage. Gear lever won't move unless you've got your foot on your brake. Reverse, neutral, drive, and then you can pull it towards you or push it away from you, and then it goes into a manual mode. Pull it towards you and hold, puts it back into automatic mode. The C and S here, they stand for comfort and standard when this car was launched. So a lot of people think that S is for sport. Initially when it was launched it was comfort and standard. The difference being is that the comfort mode in the gearbox reduces the revs so that it just changes gear much earlier, so it saved, I think it was about 5% in fuel. It wasn't a huge amount. So with the standard, if you pull it in S for standard, then it just changes gear quicker. Literature from Mercedes changed quite soon afterwards. So they started, because every other manufacturer started using sport modes in their gearboxes, Mercedes decided to start just renaming it. So that's the reason why you'll hear it worded as both. So down here, you got the Vario roof, and then you've got your alarm off, and it's set for if you're towing, and then windows, electric windows, right, left with the toggle controls. One thing if you didn't know, if you double click this, all 4 windows come down. So this gives you a full coupe version. You have to press and hold, and that brings up the rear quarter windows only, and then double click, sorry, 1 click brings them up. And then you've got your the main steering wheel. So you've got the control here. This is your cruise control, so click up for on, press it back for off, and then if you click on it, you then get a light on here that says limiter. So also on the passenger side, just so you know, you've got lit mirror. You also have your 12-volt socket down here. You've got your hazard light indicator stalks with your windscreen wiper and jets by pressing in, and then this came with electric. This was an optional extra. No, sorry, I think this was standard on the 350, having electrical steering column adjustment. And then phone controls, volume control, and then menu navigation. Fuel. So the fuel on this is a 70-litre tank, and then you've got your clock on the right and left hand side. If you're going with the 55 version, you've got AMG splattered around here. So speedo on the right, tacho on the left, and then you've got control. So at the bottom here you've got park, reverse, neutral, drive, which is obviously your gear, so I'm going to just start it up. So as I pull down the gear stick, you can see it changes. I hope you can see. And then I'm going to push it to the left. You can see you've suddenly got a 1. And I'm pulling it to the right. And then if you hold it to the left, to the right, puts it back into auto drive. And then you've got your system. So we have phone, and then you've got your overall mileage, and then we're going to go into up and down with each section. So you've got temperature control, outside temperature, and then service intervals. Press the memory again. You've got radio controls, again up and down with this. If you've got CD set up, it'll control the CD skipping. Navigation, and then within settings, I'm going to press up. You've got vehicle settings, winter tyre limits, audio search, which we haven't got on this, automatic door locking as you're walking away. In settings, you've got plus and minus, so you use these controls. So you've got vehicle options, lighting options, instrument cluster options, and convenience, which is lighting. And then press again, and you've got your MPG, so for the start, reset, and overall distance estimated left. On the left hand side here, you've got up and down to adjust clock, and then you've got the reset button, which is just there. So I hope that's all right for you as a general overview of the car. If you're looking to buy one, I do think they're very worthwhile. Just to give you an idea of space, I'm 6'3". I've got plenty of space here. I can stretch out my legs fully, and there is still a bit of space behind, so there is ample space within here. But I think I'm going to leave it at that for this video. So thank you for watching. There'll be more to come on this car, and I'll see you down the road.